This is a short demo in support of the FLUX.1 Kontext Hackaton. So I will demonstrate how the LoRA that I trained can be successfully used to actually restore damaged photo in a one-click manner without having to think much about what you're doing. It's for everyone that wants to restore their photo, and it makes things super easy. So it's kind of a generalized LoRA that allow for a very accurate and true to, I guess, the facial feature of the people within the photos so that they retain their original aspects. And it also ensures that the colors and the actual overall look and feel of the output is natural. So let's have a quick look. So what I've got right now is the Restore Photo 4.1. So that's my fourth major trained model with minor revisions added to it to improve. So right now it's at version 4.1 and it's at strength 1. And the way we're going to use that is I'm going to use the Flux Kontext Dev. Um, it's the actual nunchaku version of the model, so it runs fast on my computer. If I win against the new 1590, then I won't need to use nunchaku anymore, but until then, that's what I'm using. So it's compatible with nunchaku, and it also, so I'm using, I guess, the quantized version of the T5X XL and text encoder and clip-L. As far as the workflow itself, I'm kind of taking an input image. What I'm doing is then I'm upscaling it to a 1 megapixel resolution, making sure it's divisible by 2. By the way, this is a custom node that I created to do that, and it will skip the upscale model that I could choose for upscaling. So in this case, I'm going to skip the upscaling because I don't necessarily need to do that for the demonstration. The actual prompt I'm going to use is essentially always the same. It's going to be restore and colorize this photorealistic. So with this prompt and only this prompt, I'm going to do all of the demonstration. So I'm going to do two things. I'm going to run a first sampler, getting the output straight from the actual FLUX.1 Kontext Dev model, just to demonstrate what would the regular model do and what would my LoRA applied to the model will do as a result. So I'm going to use the same seed for both, same guidance, same denoise. And here I'm just concatenating the image to get to the final result. As you can see here, for example, it kind of shows here in the middle the original picture that I wanted to restore. This is the native Flux Kontext Dev output, and this is the result of outputting with my LoRA, which is a lot more natural looking, a lot less contrasty. Colors are more natural. So it really is a step above. So overall, always for all photos you apply it to, it will always end up with better color and saturation to be more natural, but it will also do a better job in the demonstrations I'm going to do at actually repairing the actual image. So let's get going with the demo. So now that we've got the basic workflow explained, you will be able to see it in action. So let me go and pick a demo image here. So I'm just going to go and drag this image, and let me start running the workflow so we don't waste too much time. So it's going to go and it's going to do the LoRA first, and then it's going to do the standard model next, and then at the end we're going to get a combined view of the three different original image, Kontext Dev, and Kontext Dev plus my Restore Photo 4.1 LoRA. So we shouldn't have to wait much longer. Let me maybe pause the recording and then I'll resume once it's done. Well, let's actually watch it in real time, how long it takes to do the whole thing. And then for the next part of the demo, I'm just going to pause and let it run and then unpause to actually show you out the resulting image. Okay, we're almost done. There you go. So here is the result. Let me bring it up. So in this example, as you can see, we have a very badly damaged image with fading, missing parts of the image, color, like it's almost like look like some pen marking. And here you can see the default context model is going to retain a lot of the defects. It creates a very unnatural look of the faces. It also changes the actual face of the man and the woman quite significantly. The mouth is not the same. The mustache is not quite the same either. Where you compare with the LoRA, the photo is a lot more natural. The woman looks like the woman in the original picture, and so does the man. So it does bring a lot more natural looking photorealistic output to the image. So let's try another example. In this case, let's bring this one here, which is, if we zoom in, it's a very badly damaged image, which someone appeared to be holding in their hands. So let's see what we're going to get out of this. So let me run this, and I'm going to pause, and then I'm going to unpause when it's actually rendered. So, okay. So now we have the result. As you can see here, we have the original image, which was very badly damaged. This is the Kontext Dev model on alone. Didn't do much in this case. It's almost like there was nothing changed in the image. And the Photo Restore 4.1 LoRA was able to do a much, much better job. I mean, is it perfect? By no means. Is it much better than the original badly damaged photo? Very much. So had we cropped and resized and reshaped this photo and presented it in a better way, we would have ended up with a very usable output. So now let's go and let's have a look at the next example. Let me bring here, so let me bring this other image. So in this case, it's a very faded sepia old picture, damage, scratches, folds, a lot of issues, missing pieces in the bottom corners. So let's see what will happen for this one. So let's run it. Okay, so let's have a look at the result. So we have the original here. Kontext Dev did an okay job at kind of restoring the image, but it does create a overly contrasty image. Not what you want when you restore a photo as a result, where the Photo Restore 4.1 create a much more natural looking image, the actual face expressions and overall look is much more closer to the original. We can see the actual flowers she's holding have natural colors. All of the actual artifacts are removed and we have the clear view, I guess, of her dress flowing on the floor. So I'd say it's a very nice photo restoration, almost usable as is with no further work needed. Let's try another example. So this time it's a faded old image, old photo again. So let's have a look at what it does with it. Okay, here are the results. So original in the middle, again, Flux Kontext Dev didn't do a very good job at kind of repairing the actual tears and missing parts of the image, where the Photo Restore 4.1 LoRA did a perfect job removing all of the defects on the original and producing a very pleasing final result. So again, this one would probably be usable as is with no need for further restoration of the image, except maybe for this little thing here on the dress, but that's about it. Okay, let's try to do a live image. Let me go into the Facebook Photo Restore group, and let's see if we can pick maybe an image at random. Well, we could try this one, which is a good example of what someone would want us to see if we can clean it up. Let's see what would happen. Let's pick this image. Let's actually save the image to a disk. Let me put that in my demo folder. Let's put that as right there. And now I can go and drag this into my list here. And let's run it and see what happens. Okay, almost done. There you go. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so original. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to her. Not, I guess, the best, and the result of the Photo Restore 4.1 is very pleasing. I believe they look quite the same as the original. Yeah, I think it's another win in this case. Let's try to find another one. Let's see if we can find another image that we could try. Maybe something that is more like a typical, yeah, more not as badly damaged, but faded image. So let's do a quick save image as. Let's add it to the list. And let's go and bring this into Comfy. And let's run it. So just as you can see, always running the same prompt. Nothing different. Okay, we're just about to discover the result. Okay, so in this case, image isn't bad for context dev, but it is sort of overly saturated, where the photo restore is a lot more natural looking, and colors are also a lot more pleasing and more aligned with what you would expect. So another win. Let's try maybe one last one, and let's see. If we go here, which one could we pick? This one could be done. Let's see, I'm just kind of trying to go for something that would be, so there's so much, right? There's, again, well, I guess we could try this one. It's a family, nothing, or this one, which would be quite maybe difficult. Let's see, save image. And let's bring it in. Let's run it. Okay, so here's the result. Original. Flux Kontext Dev kind of tried to keep the kind of overly purplish tint, but Photo Restore sort of brought it back to a more natural looking version. So I guess bringing out the natural look of the individuals. So yeah, another win. Do we want to go for one last one just to see what's possible? I mean, there's so many we could pick. Okay, so this one is sort of damaged, but I'm kind of looking for something a little different. Yeah, this one looks challenging. Let's have a look. It's fairly low resolution image, so let's see what we're going to get out of this one. Okay. Original, yeah, kind of, maybe it's kind of still grainy-ish, too contrasty, where Photo Restore 4.1 does a much better job at keeping things balanced. It's not perfect by any means, but it's actually much improved over the original image. So could be brought into Photoshop for further enhancements and whatnot, but I think it's a good example of what can be done with the Photo Restore tool. Well, let's do it one last one. Maybe something more not as hard. So this one could have been interesting. That's too hard. Let's go. Okay, let's say we want to enhance this photo. It's not a bad photo, but let's say we want to improve it somehow. And we could use Photo Restore 4.1 for the task. So save as image. Let's add it. Let's bring it in and let's run it. Okay, let's have a quick look. So here, it's actually not much different. I would be hard pressed to view the actual difference between the default and Photo Restore. I'm sure there is. I guess the color seems to be slightly different. The faces overall, I think they are fairly equal in outputs. So I guess in this case, either the original model or Photo Restore would do a decent job at improving the quality of the original image. So I hope this gives you a good idea of what the LoRA can do, and I hope you can assess the project for the hackathon and see if it makes if it's a winning one or if it's not a winning one. Thank you for your time and patience following along with me, and have a good rest of your day. Bye.